Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel all about Disney. Now if you're going to go to Disney World or Disneyland with kids under 5, you need to watch this video. Stay tuned. Alright, today like I said before, I want to go over some very important tips and tricks that you need to know for your next Disney trip if you're going with kids under 5. Now there's a lot of information in this video, so make sure you stick all the way to the end so you can catch all of it. Alright, so what I want to do for this video today is kind of talk from the beginning of your day at the park all the way to the end of the day. Try to give you a little bit of information for each part of your day. Alright, so this applies to Disneyland in a little bit, but I'm going to really focus on Disney World today as that's my home park, and I really know a lot of information about that to share with you guys. Alright, so you just got to Disney World. You've got the family, either you're staying at one of the hotels or you just got there and you're going for a day trip. Doesn't really matter, but you got the family, you got there, you parked in your car, and you're ready to go. So you unpack everyone, you get your stroller out if you have your kids that are still in strollers, and you're ready to get on that tram. So one of the biggest things with the tram is this stroller. It is very hard to get the stroller onto the tram sometimes, especially when it's really crowded. At the front of each tram there's a little extended spot. It's like a double seat. We find that best to try to get, if you can wiggle your way into that spot, you have way more room for your family and to fold the stroller up and get it up in there. So it's great little, it's worth waiting that little extra time to sit at the front of each tram. Each tram cart has that extra space in it in the front. Alright, you got everything loaded in the tram, you're heading over to the ticket center. I would assume you have already had your tickets purchased. I would hope so, because you'd have all your fast passes booked and you'd be ready to go. Once you get over to that ticketing center, now you have to unfold your tram, get back out, get everyone loaded up, and you're going to go through bag check. This is when you want to get all your bags out. Like, you can have your coolers, you can have your food, your water, everything in your bags ready to go, your diaper bag. So you're going to have to go through a checkout line with that. After that, you have two ways to get to actual Disney World. You could take the boat or you could take the monorail. I find the best way to go with our family is we always take the boat. Normally the lines are a little less, and also you can just push your stroller right up there. You have plenty of space. The kids love the little boat ride. It gives you time to put on your sunscreen, time to get everything situated for the day. Maybe have some snacks for the kids before you head on over into Magic Kingdom. You could take the monorail. Also push your stroller in. It's a little more busy. The line seems to be a little bit longer for most of those wait times. And it's a little bit more crowded, and it's really hard to do bug spray and your suntan lotion inside the closed monorail. So that's why we always choose the boat. I find, like I said, it's a lot faster to get you from the ticketing center all the way over to Magic Kingdom. All these examples do apply for the other parks in Disney World itself. They're just a little bit different, tweaked for each one, obviously, because there's different situations for each park. Alright, so you got off the boat, you're ready to go in, you got your tickets, you go through the ticketing center, and you have the whole world of Magic Kingdom in your fingertips. There's a lot of things I want to talk about for the actual Magic Kingdom and kids. Starting off with one would be the Child Center. So there is a Child Center in every one of the parks in Disney World and Disneyland. The dedicated centers for parents and their kids. You can do things like breastfeed in there. They have a little store where if you forgot, like maybe a sippy cup or some formula or anything really related to a child, a pacifier, they have a little store in there. They have a water filter where you can refill your water bottles throughout the day, which we use very often. We'll go back there multiple times a day, and they have a purified water filter there. They have a fridge if you need to store some cold stuff there. They have kids bathrooms. Like I said, they have the private breastfeeding areas. They have a little waiting room with the TV with Disney stuff on throughout the day for kids. If you want to take a nap, you can go right in there. The only thing I don't like about it is you can't take your stroller in. You have to leave the stroller outside. So if you do have a kid sleeping in a stroller, it's not the best place to go because you can't just push them in and have them sleep in the air conditioning. I do want to talk about naps later, but let's go ahead over to getting on some rides. Like I said before, you would have bought your tickets in ahead of time, so your fast passes would be booked. So you do have those 3 ones where you can just hop right onto the ride without having to fuss with kids and lines very much, which is great. But you obviously want to ride more than 3 rides in one day, So it starts to get a little bit more tricky then. There's a lot of apps that I would recommend. I'll put down in the description that you can download for kids to play. You and the family can play along while you're in the lines. Disney just released a new app that links all the parks and people together to play games while waiting in line. It kind of makes it a little bit more of a Disney adventure. I will link that down in the description. You guys can check that out. What we always do when we are in line is you have designated stroller parking for most of the rides, and you have to leave your stroller there. If you don't leave them in the designated spots, there are attendants that go around and they move strollers to those spots, so you'll come out and you won't be able to find your stroller. Don't freak out, just go to the nearest stroller parking area, and most likely the attendant has arranged all the strollers with yours in it. But what I was trying to say is we leave our strollers, but we have a book bag, diaper bag, so we keep everything in there, water bottles, snacks, anything we need for the kids. And then when we hop on our rides to wait in line, I always have our diaper bag, book bag for the kids. We're ready to go. It has everything in there that we need. Now, so we're sticking with the theme of having kids under 5, and there's a lot of rides. Say your child's 1, 2, and 3. There's a lot of rides that they cannot ride yet because they're just simply not big enough. There's this program called Ride Swap that Disney World, Disneyland offer. The Ride Swap program is amazing for adults. Say you wanted to go on Flight of Passage. You would go up in the line, say I have a ride swap for me and my wife. And what you would do is they would give you a piece of paper. You would go, you would wait in your line, you would ride the ride, you would come out and you say, okay, now it's my wife's turn. You would take the kids, because she was watching the kids while you were on the line. You would take the kids. She would have the piece of paper, and that piece of paper would get her right in the Fast Pass lane. Even though you don't have a Fast Pass booked, it would get you right in the Fast Pass lane. You could go on the ride. She'd go on, 10-15 minutes, come back, and then you could go back on your day with your kids. So this is great because one person can watch the kids while the other person rides, and then vice versa. You flip, and it's called the Ride Swap program. Every ride pretty much has it. You just walk up to it before you wait in line, say we want to do the ride swap. Then you get that piece of paper for the Fast Pass for the second rider, and then you would swap as you needed to. So there's always someone watching the kids. So everything I just talked about is if you were just showing up to Magic Kingdom that day or one of the parks, and you were just ready to go for the day. If you weren't actually staying at one of the properties, if you're staying at one of the properties, especially one of the monorail properties for Magic Kingdom, that changes everything. Obviously, you could just get out of your hotel, hop on the monorail, stroller, bags, everything, kids, whip over to the Magic Kingdom, and you're good to go. Obviously, that's preferred, but those hotels on the monorail for Magic Kingdom are very expensive. They are the most expensive hotels in all of Disney World. So as that's preferred with kids, it's not always possible for everyone. So some of these examples is more for you're parking at Disney World, or you're coming from another resort and you're going into Magic Kingdom. Side note here, if you are staying at one of the Disney World hotels, they actually offer childcare. You could call up. There's different services that Disney World has, and there's some private services where you could have someone come and watch children while you and your wife go and you head over to Magic Kingdom or one of the other parks. You could have paid for child service, and they would watch your kids in your hotel room until you came back. So you get a little bit of mommy daddy time. It's always a great thing. So you spent your day at Magic Kingdom, you've done all the rides, you've done your Fast Pass rides, you've waited in line, you've had these kids who are tired. You might be in the middle of the day after lunch and you want to do naps. So we always try to sneak naps in. We'll let them sleep in the stroller, and what we'll do is we'll try to find an air conditioning restaurant. A Starlight Cafe is one of our favorite. Well, we'll get dessert or something, and we'll sit on one of the tables in the air conditioning. We'll let our kids sleep. You always want to try to get those nap times if they're still taking naps in during the day, so they don't get worn out later, especially if you're trying to make it to fireworks. So fireworks is at 9 p.m. That's really late. So we try to sneak naps in, and we definitely try to do it in air conditioning, like I said, a restaurant. Even some gift stores we'll sit around in, just to give them some air conditioning. And if you see my previous videos, one of the major things that I recommend for strollers is having one of those clip-on fans to keep them nice and cool, especially when they are sleeping during the day, because it gets really hot in those strollers. So you made it through rides, you made it through nap time, meals, and now you're ready for fireworks. You made it all the way to the end of the day. Either you went back to your hotel room or you made it to the end of the day. Fireworks can get a little tricky. people start camping out really early for fireworks. So you want to try to get a spot where you can, you can fit your stroller if you have it and your kids. I wouldn't recommend, camping out too early, but I'm going to put some more information down in the description of my favorite fireworks spots for kids. So go ahead and down there and check it out. I'll put them up on the screen here too, so you can kind of, pick one and try one each time you go. These will help out because they'll be a little less crowded and they'll give you the good vantage points for the fireworks, and still have that space for your stroller and the kids and all your extra stuff. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this is really helpful. There was a lot of information in this video. If you have any questions, make sure you put them down in the comments. If you liked the video, please hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button with that bell notification icon. That way you always get the next video updates, and they always send out the notifications for you, so you guys never miss anything. Like I said, if there's any kind of future things you guys are looking for, leave it down in the comments and I'll make sure I'll make a video on it. Thanks guys.